Hello, so this is going to be our last sort of week on 2 Point Perspective. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to kind of start off the task that we're asking you to do, and then I'm just going to leave you to kind of finish it in whatever way works for you. So whether that's keeping it fairly simple, just because you're maybe still struggling to get your head around it, or maybe kind of progressing and making this really, really fancy looking scene if you have managed to pick this up quite quickly. Okay, what I'll also do is I'll link another video in the playlist after this, which is a guy from a company showing you how to do quite a complex version of this task. So if you are finding when I'm working through this that maybe you are finding it a wee bit too easy for you, what you could do is skip to the next video and see if that's maybe something that's a wee bit more targeted to your level. Okay, so our final task in this little unit is going to be to sketch a 2 point perspective street. So in order to do this, we're going to put our vanishing point, or our kind of eye level, not our vanishing point, sorry, our horizon line, or eye level, sort of roughly in the middle of the page. Okay, and what we're doing is building up this street, and we're going to start just by doing this sort of one street corner. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the height of my first building. So it might be something like this. Okay, now again you can see I've tried to keep my horizon line. What is with me today? I've tried to keep my horizon line quite light. I do have to do it a little darker than you will hopefully do it at home. So, got my 2 vanishing points, I'll just get them set up for kind of building my drawing up. On this little front edge of my building is where I'm going to drag my leading edge back to. Okay, so same as when we've built up any of our other drawings, we're just kind of above and below the horizon line today. Gosh, I'm sorry, I just seem to not be able to talk this morning. So we've got that first kind of bit built in, and what we could even do at this point, just to make your life a wee bit easier, is just to kind of rub that out. Now it should be fairly easy because it's a nice light line, but we won't actually see that anymore because of the building that's there, but we can kind of roughly see where it was. Now what I'm going to start to do is build up my kind of building. So this first building is going to be about that sort of width. What's that? Just over the ruler, I'm going to make this one about the same. So we've got that first little building built up there, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually darken it up just to kind of keep it from becoming a bit too muddled, because I think it will get quite busy as we work through this. Okay, now as I say, I'm just showing you kind of the start of this today, and something that's a wee bit, I mean it's not basic, it's still quite tricky, but maybe not quite as complex as the video that I've linked after this. Okay, so as I say, if you are finding this fairly easy and you want a little bit of a challenge, then the next video would be really good to help you out. So that's my first building done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start maybe popping a few windows on there. Okay, so put my door in first of all, and let's pick a height for our windows. Okay, so it's more the details on this that we're wanting to build up. Once we've kind of built up the buildings, it is just, I guess, just a series of cubes and cuboids. It's what you add to it that's going to improve it. So we've got this door here, and then a whole bunch of what is going to become windows. So remember, because they're all on this surface, everything on this face goes back to that vanishing point. So we're running back to the vanishing point. Now I'm just going to draw the first couple right back, but once I've done the first couple of lines, I'm probably not going to run all the way back to the vanishing point. I'm just going to kind of stop and draw the amount that I need. I'm just putting these in just to kind of show you. So you can see that I've got my first few windows running, and then what I can do is start to go, right, how wide are my windows? And then I might say that they have a few windows across the width of the building. Remember, because of the perspective, these might actually end up looking smaller the further you go back, so I'm trying to make the gap a little bit smaller here. So something like that, and I've got my windows set up there. Okay, and then I could go over and just darken up the bits that I want to keep. Okay, and then once I'm feeling a bit more confident, I might not run the whole way back. I might just kind of run as far as my windows are going to go, so you could actually carry this whole one up. And then when I'm taken back to the vanishing point, I can just stop when I hit that line, because that's all I actually need. And that'll just help to keep your drawing a little bit tidier as well. So I've got my kind of first block of flats essentially on this building, and you might have windows on this side. Again, they would just run down to this edge here. And then what we can start thinking about is, okay, now that I'm happy with that, I might want to build in another couple of buildings. So maybe on this side, I'm just going to kind of focus on this side, and you guys can work down that side. So maybe I'll have a little gap between these ones, like a street or a road or something. And I think I maybe want this building to be a bit shorter, so maybe it only actually goes up to about here. So because I'm drawing quite lightly, dead easy to kind of rub that out. So that's the height of my building there. And I know that's going to go back, and I'll be able to see a wee bit of it that goes back. And I'm just going to stop there because I don't need to run it all the way along. Again, I might pop that like that. And I've got this next wee bit. Now what I am going to do, folks, is I'm just going to rub out these wee bits that I had for the windows, just because I think this drawing will start to get really, really muddled. Okay, so as I say, if you're drawing lines, you can just kind of line them up to the vanishing point and do what I did here, and just kind of stop once you're at the level you're happy with. So bottom of my building needs to run back, and again I'm just going to stop when it hits. So I've got building number 2 plonked in there. Okay, and again I might just got that line for the door. So this could be my wee door there that I built up. Okay, now what I've done here is I've left a little gap, and I might actually build this up and build a little road out. Okay, so I'm bringing it back to the vanishing point, and this time I'm bringing the road a wee bit further forward. Vanishing point. And I don't actually need it to come out. So I might have a road that runs along like this, and then it goes up here. So we've got that kind of wee road now that runs around, and you're just playing about. You can kind of come up with a bit of an idea as you go, and you might say, right, do you know what, I fancy that house having a garden, or that one having an extension or something like that. So we've now got this kind of road that goes and it turns off here. So if you think about the way a road goes, I'm going to just put a couple of wee lines here, so it's like a little giveaway junction. And then this one, you could even put like your lines up the middle of the road really lightly, something like that. And then you can use this vanishing point on this side to kind of line up to create the ends of that line. So I'm just holding the ruler there with my pencil just to tidy up a bit. And then what we can do is, if I darken it up again, I'm not going to draw every detail today, I'm just doing a few wee bits to show you a couple of little examples of what you might do. But we've got that line up the middle of our road starting to build, and we can gradually kind of add to that. Now mine are a wee bit wonky, not totally straight, but better. So we've got that line up the middle of the road. Now because we're on a corner here, maybe actually this section would run all the way across. So I'm kind of, you notice I'm making wee changes as I go, because I'm thinking, that looks a bit daft, why would it not have a road? So I might have those kind of thicker, and they should roughly line up to your vanishing point again. So we've got that wee sort of stop junction thing, and then the smaller blocks here. And then we might have a road that runs this way, so again you would have your lines. Okay, now this corner here, maybe I don't want to build it up as loads of buildings, maybe I want it to be a field or something, so maybe I just need to have a little fence up. Back to my vanishing point. So I've got this little kind of field here that I could then add a wee bit of colour or pop a couple of animals in or something. Don't really know what the heck this sort of street is. On this side, maybe I want to have a more traditional looking house that you would maybe draw when you were a wee kid. So, oh, sugar. Running all the way up, I'm going to pick my height. So it's just going to be about that height, but I'm actually going to give it a pointy roof. So I'm going to decide where the roof is, and then I'm going to pick my halfway point. Now if you remember before, we can do that cross to get our halfway point. So it's going to be somewhere about there, and then I can draw the point. So that wee bit that I just did should be really light. It's just because I'm on the camera, I have to do a little darker. And then you've got all your other bits to make it 3D, going back to your vanishing point. Now remember, I'm just drawing them quite lightly, or not lightly, I'm not going all the way back is what I should say. So I've now got a wee house that looks something like that, and again you can rub out bits. I know I've said before you don't need to rub out your construction lines, but it will make it a wee bit easier because we are doing quite a busy drawing here. But yeah, just having a little play about, seeing what you can come up with. Maybe you want to have little roads over this side, or houses, or whatever you want to do. Okay, that's your kind of starting point, and then I want you guys to kind of build this up and see what you can come up with. Okay, it'll take a wee while and it will maybe be a wee bit confusing, but just remember, if you are doing quite a lot of details, it might just help to line it up to the vanishing point, but only draw as much of the line as you need, okay, to help keep it a wee bit tidier. As I say, if you give this a go and you're finding that it is maybe a little easy for you, jump onto the next video that I've tagged in this playlist, and see how you get on with that. It's a bit more challenging for you. But yeah, can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Cheers.